Hey, welcome to my journey. Today we're going to do a little rundown of my 2 week post op doctor visit. Okay, so I want to come on here and tell you, kind of go through what me and the surgeon talked about today. Well, first, when I got there, the nurse came in and took my staples out. And I'm going to tell you, I was scared because I never had staples. So I didn't know what they felt like coming out. I know what stitches feel like, nothing, but staples, ooh. So she had this little, every patient gets one, so they don't clean them. It's a tool that would be thrown away. She just holds it like this, and she goes up under the staple and just pulls it up. And some of them broke, but it pulled both pieces up at the same time. Every now and then I'd feel a little sting, but I watched her do it. So, there was nothing to it. So I was excited about that. I did bleed a couple spots, but it wiped right up and didn't bleed no more. And so then she put, which was interesting, she put this, it looked like betadine. She did it down the sides of my incision. I said, "Oh, is that betadine?" She said, "No, it's whatever it is, something with a B, an adhesive." So when she puts these steri strips on, which are just little pieces of tape, it'll hold them down better. So my whole incision is now tape down with steri strips. Looks like just a little section of a mummy. And he said that when they start coming up, I can just take them off and it'll be done. However long it takes them to come off on their own, then we're good to go. Now listen here. Listen here. I've been taking these whore baths for 2 weeks, making a mess in the bathroom, but I don't care. Well, I asked him today, I said, "When can I take a shower?" He said, "You're not taking a shower." I said, "Well, you know." He said, "Did you not have the rubber kind of thing on?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I told your family it didn't matter. You could get it wet." I said, "If you told my husband that, he did not remember. He did not hear you say that." So I'm not taking a shower. I said, "But I've not been comfortable getting in and out of it yet because it's I told y'all, very high-sided. I have a little bathroom step, shower step, whatever you want to call it, just step up. And then I got a handicap bar to hold and get over, but I don't know, So I can take a shower. If I can't get in, David said he'll put me in. So I'll just get him to put me in. He'll make sure I don't fall. And so there was that. And I asked him about when I could go from the walker to the cane. He goes, "That there's no set." He said, that's all on you." He said, "Whenever you feel comfortable." He said, "That's when you can go to the cane." He said, "That has nothing to do with him, basically." He said, "It's all on how you feel." So guess what? When me and Holly got home, I pushed that cane in that middle room, parked it where it was parked, and got my cane out. And I'm just going to use that cane just long enough I've got my balance, but until just a little bit longer, just give myself a little bit longer of just a little something, in case I lose, especially with my left knee, because it's been showing out since I got this one over here fixed. My left one has been showing out, locking up, hurting. Oh my gosh, the whole 9 yards. It's really been doing it. And but when we went in, we talked a little bit, about whatever we talked about. He said, "Okay, now hold your leg up." So I'm sitting there, and I raised my leg. It went straight out. He goes, "Okay, now bend it back." So I set it back down behind me, straight up and down. He just went like this. He goes, "You're doing better than most people that come up in here in 2 weeks." I said, "Are you serious?" He says, "You're having no problems. No problems." I said, "I was scared. I was worried. I've been telling David I was worried that I wasn't going to pass my test, and I was not going to be doing something right. I've been telling the therapist I'm nervous about going for my appointment because he might tell me I'm not doing good." No, he said, "I'm doing better than most of the people that he sees in 2 weeks." When he first come in, he goes, "Well, hey, how are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm so excited about to have this knee or something like that. And he looked at me, he goes, most people are not like that when they come in here at 2 weeks. He said, they're moaning and groaning. I'm like, well, I ain't going to tell you it don't hurt, but I am so happy to have it because what this knee can do, even through the pain, is better than what that old crappy thing you took out was. And he started laughing. And he showed me a picture of it. Oh, it's nice. I told you already. I've seen it before. It's nice. It's a nice knee. He said on my next visit next month, he'll take another x-ray and we'll look at it again. And I was telling him, I said, now, when I said, I got a shelf over my washer and dryer. I said, those big glass jars with the lids? I said, I have those up there with my laundry pods and my, Oxy, stuff like that. I said, he knew what I was talking about. I said, when I did laundry, I said, I'd have to lean down like that and grab up because my right knee would not, it wouldn't work to reach up there and get that stuff without like getting the jar down and reaching in and getting it and putting the jar back. I said, so when I did laundry the other day, I said, I reached right up there in that jar, got that laundry pot out like there was nothing to it. This is what he did. He goes, you did laundry? I said, yeah. He goes, no, people don't do laundry. Like, why? I said, yeah, it hurts, but sometimes you still have things to do. I mean, David would have done it for me if I asked, but if I was able to do it, why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm not sitting around here milking him to death as a caregiver, acting like he's got to do every single little thing. He did the first week. I needed him. I still need him. There's things I need him for, but I'm not going to make him do every little thing when I can do some stuff myself. So he was just so thrilled with me. He said, what was it? I think it might have been after I said I did the laundry, or how good my knee was doing, or I was excited. There was something that was said. He goes, you're one strong woman. Well, so I'm trying to think, was there anything else before I tell you the good stuff? I'm deliberately holding out the good stuff. Oh, that was terrible. God. So let me just interrupt. Jacob, when they were leaving, because Holly took me, and obviously she had Jacob, he was eating on his hand, and he reached over and he touched me, and I made a big, because he got slobber on me. Oh my gosh. He about laughed his head off. He had one of those kind of laughs. So then it was a game. He was reaching over to put the slobber on me, and then I was making a big, oh my gosh, he was carrying on something else. Anyway, that was sweet. So we were talking. I said, now, when can I do my other one? He said, well, that again is when you feel like you want to. He said, that's nothing really I can tell you. It's when you feel like you can. I said, as soon as possible, as soon as you say it's okay. And he says, you want it for the end of the year? I said, yeah. He said, they just added me some days in December. He said, it might mess up your Christmas. He said, you could do it on the 22nd or the 29th. He said, Kim will call you. You just pick whatever date you want. He said, and if you don't want any of them, you want to do it later, then that won't offend me. So I am going to get my second knee done in December. I'm going to pick the 29th. As long as it's open when she calls me, oh, please pray that it's open. And I'll have my Christmas. I'll have time to get my Christmas done and put up and get my house back in order and go and do my second knee, which is going to be so much easier because my right knee will be fine. It will be strong, whereas it's doing things now that my left knee is having trouble doing. Like I can now get up and off the side of the bed. I could actually sit on the side of the bed, put my socks on, and stand up, hold on to the bed and get up. I have my walker over here, so in case I need to grab that. Where before, my right knee wouldn't do it. I would have to grunt and groan and bend and twist, and oh my gosh. And TMI, if you want to call it that, I graduated off my potty seat. I can go all the way down to the regular potty now. I don't need the little riser, so woohoo me. It's the little things. So yeah, that's how my visit went today. It went wonderful. And he walked me down to the checkout desk and told me he was so proud of me, and he gave me a big old hug. I told you he's like 6'5". He's at least 6'5", if not more. Tall, thin, lanky thing. And sweet. Oh, that's the part I almost forgot. When we were talking, I told him how good my knee was doing. Even though it hurts, it still does things, that my other one couldn't do. This one still does it, and it does things better than my left one will do. And we were talking about that, and I was, telling him all the good things. He said, "You are the kind of patient that brings tears to my eyes." That's what he told me. Is that not the sweetest? I tell you, that's the sweetest doctor I think I've ever had in my entire life. And when I told him I was worried that I wasn't doing good, he said, "You don't come in here worried about that." He said, "Not to any doctor. You don't go and worry about if you're doing good." He said, "What you're doing is your best. That's good enough." I'm like, all right then. So there you have it. My 2 week follow up, all the good news that came from that. It was a wonderful visit. I'm so happy, and I just wanted to share it with you because y'all are keeping up. Y'all are keeping up with this, and I wanted to let you have it while it was fresh on my mind. I'm sure that we talked about something else, and as soon as I quit videotaping, I'll think of it. But that's okay. I think you got enough. I think you got the good part anyway, which I think is all good. So that is it. I guess I better get off of here and start trying to edit this thing so I can cook my supper. Okay. Well, I thank y'all for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow for another menu planning grocery haul. So if you want to see that, come back tomorrow. Okay. Bye now. Okay, so this is not the best video quality because it's on my laptop and the lighting is terrible. And I've already switched gowns because I was hot. But I knew I would think of something, and it was important for me to tell you. He told me, he said, now this is not to sound ugly or, I don't remember how he put it. He said, and I didn't know what he was going to say. He said, but when we were in the OR, he said one of the whoever's, one of the assistants of some sort, male, female, I don't know. I don't know what they did, who they were, said that I didn't normally do knees for that size that I am. He said, I told him, I know. He said, but he said, I could not do hers. He said, you don't know how hard she has worked to get here. He said, so I had to do her knees. So when I tell you I got a good doctor, I got a good doctor. Mm. So that was just too important for me to tell you that he told me about that conversation in the OR and what he said. Now that's all. And see you tomorrow.